Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Good evening. You're watching Oman News. First, the headlines. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos receives the credentials of a number of ambassadors accredited to the Sultanate. The minister responsible for foreign affairs confirmed crisis among some countries of Gulf Cooperation Council is over and became of the past. Activation control of red tide phenomenon and implementation of emergency storage tanks at desalination plants a solution call for at end of harmful alcohol conference. And the volume of foreign investment in the Sultanate amounts to 14 billion Omani riyals in 2012. Those were the headlines. Now for the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos received in Hisn al-Shamuk in the Wilaya of Mana this evening credentials of a number of their excellencies, ambassadors of friendly countries accredited to the Sultanate. His Majesty received credentials of His Excellency Irjan Mukash, accredited ambassador to the Sultanate, by His Excellency President Nur Sultan Nazarbayev of Kazakhstan. His Majesty also received credentials of His Excellency Dr. Anwar Beg Fazil Yanov, accredited ambassador to the Sultanate by His Excellency President Vladimir Putin of Russia. His Majesty then received credentials of His Excellency Ibrahim Dekhate, accredited ambassador to the Sultanate by His Excellency President Macky Sall of Senegal. And His Majesty received credentials of His Excellency Kostas Badimas, accredited ambassador to the Sultanate by His Excellency Nikos Anastasiades of Cyprus. During the sideline meetings, the ambassadors conveyed to His Majesty the Sultan greetings and best wishes of the leaders of their countries for His Majesty of good health, happiness and long life, and for the Omani people continuous progress and prosperity under His Majesty's wise leadership. The ambassadors expressed their great honor and delight to present their credentials to His Majesty, stressing their diligence to strengthen relations between their countries and the Sultanate in various spheres to serve joint interest of Omani and their country's people. His Majesty welcomed the ambassadors and thanked the leaders of their countries for their greetings and best wishes, stressing to their excellencies, the ambassadors, that they will receive every support from His Majesty, the government and the Omani people to facilitate to carry out their missions. The credential presentation ceremony was attended by His Excellency, the Minister of Diwan of the Royal Court, His Excellency, the Minister responsible for Foreign Affairs, His Excellency, the Head of the Royal Protocols, the Commander of the Royal Guard of Oman, and the military ADCs of His Majesty the Sultan. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos has sent a cable of greetings to His Excellency President Robert Mugabe of Zimbabwe on his country's independence anniversary. Crisis between the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates and Kingdom of Bahrain on one side and the State of Qatar from the other side is over and became of the past. That was confirmed by His Excellency Yusuf bin Alawi bin Abdullah, Minister responsible for Foreign Affairs. In statements published by Al Hayya, newspaper issued in London, he said the question had finished after a required role was played and that resulted in solving it within the Gulf House without allowing anybody else to intervene. His Excellency described the crisis as passing storm and vanish, minimizing effect of the step of withdrawing ambassadors among brothers. His Excellency, the Minister responsible for Foreign Affairs, stressed that relations among countries of the Gulf Cooperation Council are normal and there is no cloud among Arab Gulf countries as it was seen by some. He expressed that what happened of difference is solved within, but what have happened in the region had effects of the Council countries, calling attention to that Gulf countries will remain to assist, help and support Arab brothers. Strengthening aspects of bilateral cooperation in information spheres and benefiting from joint experiments in experience exchange and training between them were focus of session of talks between His Excellency Dr. Abdul Munim bin Mansour Lassani, Minister of Information, and His Excellency Sari Ahmed Shabrishi, Minister of Communication and Multimedia of Malaysia, during his visit to Malaysian media establishments and training centers, His Excellency stressed the importance of strengthening relations that are binding the two countries in e-media and social contact networks. The two sides stressed the necessity of exchange views on how to make contact between the Ministries of Information of both countries through social contact networks. Activation of surveillance and control of red tide phenomenon and implementation of emergency storage tanks at main desalination plants were the most prominent solutions came up with by harmful algal blossoms and desalination conference to avoid the problem of harmful algal blooms. This phenomenon was attributed by some experts to balance water drained by oil tankers and sea waters. The conference also gave temporary solutions to combat red tide phenomenon, such as spraying chemical substances and shoveling harmful algal blooms from sea surface and putting barriers at desalination water to stop them from entering to pipes. However, these solutions do not solve the problem completely, as the Sultanate depends greatly on desalination water. The volume of foreign investment in the Sultanate amounted to 14 billion Omani Riyals in 2012, with an increase of more than 1 billion Omani Riyals. The survey issued by the National Center for Statistics and Information and published by Oman newspaper showed that the investments concentrated on oil, gas and manufacturing activities. It was pointed out that direct foreign investments grew by 6.4%, increasing from around 6 billion Riyals to 6.4 billion Riyals. The United Kingdom occupied the first place in the terms of the volume of direct foreign investments, as its investments reached around 2.6 billion Riyals, centered on oil and gas exploration and financial intermediation activities. The National Center for Statistics and Information is now conducting the annual foreign investment survey for the ended fiscal year 2013. It aims to update the database of statistics on foreign investments in the Sultanate. Under the auspices of His Excellency Dr. Ahmed bin Mohammed Al-Saidi, Minister of Health, project on promoting the culture of productivity at work through communication, organized by the Directorate General of Khawla Hospital, concluded its 5-day session today. More details in the following report by Abdullah bin Ahmed Al-Rabi.
With the commitment of Directorate General of Royal Hospital to ensure that all physicians, nurses and other healthcare professionals and administrative staff engaged in healthcare delivery or in supporting it are enabled to provide quality care to patients through continuous updation of their knowledge, skills and attitudes in their relevant fields of practice, a 5-day session was initiated with the aim of enhancing the language of communication between staff and patients and among all multidisciplinary team. This 5-day project on promoting the culture of productivity at work through communication concluded its final session today at auditorium of the Institute of Health Sciences in the presence of His Excellency the Chief Guest, the Minister of Health and Director Generals. The sessions were attended by over 250 staff representing various healthcare categories of Khawla Hospital as well as other staff of various healthcare institutions in the Sultanate. The sessions were led by renowned national and international speakers, the activities of which included workshops, dramas and role plays that has indeed facilitated the methods of enhancing an effective communication, which will increase staff and patient satisfaction and work productivity. I asked one of the organizing committee on how the idea originated.
The idea started 3 years back when it was the healthcare communication went down. So the Khawla team initiated this idea just to improve the communication between the healthcare. At the beginning, it's now starting among the Khawla staff. It will be national, inshallah, in the coming few years. It will involve all of the healthcare from the doctors, nursing and lab technician and everyone.
And with regards to objectives, another organizing member said,
the objective of the program was to disseminate information and motivate the staff to be more of communicator at a personal level and professional level. At the end of this conference, we wish that we have a communication strategy that can improve the health services for the individual, for the community and for the citizen as well in Oman.
And this member also said,
as a staff in Ministry of Health and one of the organizing.
In your profession?
One of the organizers in the team. My aim is to increase in work productivity and also to increase staff and patient satisfaction. Also to improve the quality of care provided in this service.
The 5-day session proved to be one of the effective tools in enhancing interpersonal communication skills of healthcare professionals. The healthcare staff are hoping that this particular project will assist in improving communication skills. Abdullah bin Ahmed al-Rubi'i, Sultanate of Oman Television.
Still to come in our news bulletin. A contemporary Qatari fine arts exhibition is inaugurated in Muscat. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman Television. Relations between the Sultanate and the United States of America in security and police fields were discussed by His Excellency Lieutenant General Hassan bin Mohsen bin Salem al-Sharaiki, Inspector General of Police and Customs, when he received Major General Michael Nagata, Commander of Special Operations at American Central Command, and his delegation, who are currently on a visit to the Sultanate. The meetings also covered a number of matters of mutual concern, especially that related to security and military. Acquainting with wilayas of the Governorate of Muscat and numerous historical, touristic and civilizational landmarks enjoyed by its wilayas were the focus of talks of His Excellency Sayyid Saeed bin Ibrahim al-Busaidi, Deputy Governor of Muscat, when he received in his office Captain Benoit Baudonnière, Commander of French Frigate Janbar, during the visit to the Sultanate. Within the context of social responsibility of Oman Chamber of Commerce and Industry, OCCI, and its role in raising the level of awareness among all segments of the community on the significance of supporting and developing small and medium enterprises, the Chamber's branch in the Governorate of Dakhiliya organized a seminar under the theme Supportive Programs of Youth Projects. Through this seminar, the OCCI aims to open doors for entrepreneurs in the Governorate to get acquainted with supporting services and ideal environment to establish all types of projects. The seminar, attended by male and female school students, reviewed services offered by the Public Authority for Small and Medium Enterprises Development, Al Rafat Fund, and Oman Development Bank. It also highlighted success stories of some Omani entrepreneurs. As part of cooperation between public and private sectors in serving the community, a funding agreement was signed by Jisr Establishment for the establishment of drug addiction rehabilitation centers in the Vilayah of Sahar. The signing ceremony was presided over by His Excellency Mohammed bin Saeed Al Kalbani, Minister of Social Development. The project will be one of the most important treatment and rehabilitation center in the Sultanate that aims to bring together services provided by the Ministry of Health and the support offered by private sector establishments for the treatment and rehabilitation of drug addictions. The cost of the project amounted to 1.6 million Omani riyals. With the participation of around 50 medical cadre and patients, Health Services Department in the Governorate of Musandam organized joint workshop on thalassemia, which came within the activities of First Emirates Camp for Thalassemia. The participants sought to exchange experiences about the disease, and they met patients and listened to their stories about it and how to deal with it, as well as challenges when faced them and the medical cadres. The program included visiting daycare unit for thalassemia in Khasab Hospital, laboratory and blood bank. At the end of the program, the participants were honored. 32 beneficiaries from the training program associated with employment graduated today. This batch is the second one which came within the joint cooperation between Salalah Methanol Company and Omani Society for Petroleum Services with supervising from the Ministry of Manpower. The training program was for 6 months in one of the specialized institutes of the Governorate of Dhofar. The company seeks to support the human resources through these kinds of training programs. His Excellency Engineer Salim bin Nasser Al-Lufi, Under-Secretary of the Ministry of Oil and Gas, announced that the Sultanate gas production in 2013 reached around 90 million cubic meters and the Sultanate need of gas increases every year by 10 to 12%. He added that the ministry has many projects. The biggest one is signing the agreement with British Oil Company, which its production will be around 28 million cubic meters and will start at the beginning of 2018. He also said that the Sultanate and Iran signed only a memorandum of understanding to import 1 billion cubic feet of gas, adding that still there are many steps to access this project. After 3 weeks of training and qualifying, a group of students from Al-Wafa Center for Qualifying Handicapped Children in the Vilayah of Salalah, the project of My Desire Serve the Community, is concluded in Dhofar University. His Excellency Sheikh Saleh bin Faith Al-Shanfari, Chairman of Dhofar Municipality, presided over the ceremony. The project, which implemented by Youth Inma Center for Conference in cooperation with Asada School for Basic Education at Al-Wafa Center, aimed to qualify more than 16 female students to establish some handicraft works and improve their talents. Contemporary Qatari Fine Arts exhibition inaugurated in Muscat to express cooperation spread between the Sultanate and Qatar in various fields, especially artistic and innovative aspects. 23 artists participated in the exhibition, which held within the framework of artistic cooperation between fine arts societies in both countries. The exhibition opened for visitors until 23rd of this month. Now for the general weather forecast. Clear to partly cloudy skies will prevail over the Sultanate. Winds will be northeasterly light to moderate along the coast of Sea of Oman, while it will be southerly to southeasterly light to moderate along the rest of the Sultanate. Seas will be slight with a maximum wave height of 1 meter. This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos received the credentials of a number of ambassadors accredited to the Sultanate. The minister responsible for foreign affairs confirms crisis among some countries of Gulf Cooperation Council is over and became of the past. Activation, control of red tide phenomenon and implementation of emergency storage tanks at desalination plants are solutions called for at end of harmful algal conference. And the volume of foreign investment in the Sultanate amounts to 14 billion Omani Riyals in 2012. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the newsroom and the studio, thank you for watching and good night.